The rumours are true. They are bringing back Cheers, but it's Post Malone playing the role of Sam Malone. The other rumour is true. I'm doing a Points League mock draft. Michael Bolton.
Thanks, Josh. It's Michael Bolton here, and it's time for another episode of the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast. Let's get to it.
Let's get to it, indeed.
You are Locked On Fantasy, your daily NBA fantasy podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello and welcome to the Locked On Fantasy Basketball Podcast, brought to you by Basketball Monster. My name is Josh Lloyd, and I keep my Moet Chandon in a pretty cabinet. I'm also the lead fantasy analyst at basketballmonster.com, and you can find me on Twitter, as always, at redrock_bball, on TikTok at redrock_bball, and on Instagram at Locked On Fantasy Basketball. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app. Use the code Locked On NBA for $20 off your first purchase. Thank you also for making Locked On Fantasy Basketball your first listen every day. We are free and we are available on all platforms, so give it a double bang and a thumb and a comment down below. Points League mock draft. 12 teams, Yahoo default scoring, Yahoo default rosters. Not hosting it on Yahoo, it's just a pain to organize over there. So it is on Fantrax, but it is the same valuation of players. It is the same roster settings, it is the same 13-man roster, which is stupid. It is the same 2-center default, which is stupid. But that is what we are doing, because that is how those Yahoo stupid leagues run. We're here to do it. Points League. We might as well get into it. But before I do that, we want an uninterrupted run at things. That is the best way to do one of these mock drafts. So today's episode is brought to you by the Game Time app. Tickets, events, it's a perfect combination, like Post Malone in Cheers. You want to go see your favorite sports, you want to go see comedy, theater, musicals, impressionists, mimes, whatever it is. Playoffs, regular season, preseason, it's all there. And sometimes there's too many options, and Game Time makes it easier because Game Time Picks is their new feature, and they cut out the fluff. They just present to you the best deals available on their website. That's not the only thing they do, but it's the new thing. It's the good thing. It's the best thing. It's one of the best things you've ever seen, in fact. They've also got the zone deals. They've got the flash deals. They've got the lowest price guarantee. So if you find that same ticket, same row, same ticket, another site, well, they credit you back 110% of the difference. So go ahead and download the old Game Time app and take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create that account and use the code LOCKEDONNBA for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? Game time. Today's episode is also brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. You can start the season with a big return on FanDuel because, of course, it's America's #1 sportsbook. You watch a game. Something's happening. Something's brewing. Something's percolating. And you just see something you think, I might put a bet on that. You can open up the FanDuel app while you're sitting there with your buds. Open it up, see the odds, and then you can check out the different stats. It's live. Same spot on the app that the bets are. You can see the play-by-play. It's the same spot as well. Marry your eyes with the numbers in a civil ceremony, but then also go in and place that bet. And if you are a new customer, place it as a $5 bet. That's the easy way to start because that $5 bet guaranteed turns into $200 in bonus bets. So as a new customer, go place that $5 bet. Go to FanDuel.com, sort it out, figure it out. Don't forget to gamble responsibly. So we're going to jump in. We're going to talk points leagues. I'm going to draft at number 2 in this 12-man points league mock draft. So we'll get in and do it. All right. We're in the draft. I'm picking at number 2, Yahoo scoring system. Let's get it on, Gilly. All right. I have Luka projected to be the second best producer in points leagues. I just am I think I'd pass on him with a little bit more injury risk than Jokic and the 2-game playoff week. But if we're talking all's fair and fair, he would be number 2 and actually would possibly be number 1 for me in a points league. It just, because he's awesome and I know that. But that 2-game playoff week and there are options of Jokic and Wemby that I can take instead, I'll take them instead. So that's where I am at, we started. That's what I'm going to do here at pick number 2. So Wemby goes 1, W for me. I'll get Jokic at 2. And I think in a points league, the difference between Luka and then the next guy, whether it's Giannis or whether it's Shea, is large enough that 2-game week think we take Luka there. It's not as close of a gap. For example, I've got Luka projected at like 59 fantasy points. Yeah, I've got Shea at 50. I've got Giannis at 55. It's a big difference. Right? That's enough of a difference. So that's the direction I went. So Giannis goes at 4. That's a good pick. I like Giannis at 4 there. He in a Yahoo points format, Giannis is a better option than Shea. Davis goes at 6. Embiid's the wild card. Well, he goes at 7. I cannot do it. I cannot pull that trigger on him outside of roto formats. Can't do it. I wonder if anyone's going to take LaMelo Ball in round 1 because he looks ridiculous. He looks at the moment. Well, there you go. It went Embiid 7, Sabonis 8, Ball 9. Now, obviously, there's a lot of health, but even I think, excluding the health stuff, the way that LaMelo Ball is playing, he's playing like a top 5 player. We don't take him there. The risk is still there. No, I don't think it's as risky as others, but he is playing like a top 5 fantasy player in the way that he looks at the moment and the up-paced nature of the Hornets offense. Preseason. Okay, we understand that. He could end up better than Shea per game. It's possible. He goes at 9 there, LaMelo Ball. Tatum goes at 10. I don't mind Tatum at 10 there. I think he's okay. I don't mind it. Halliburton goes at 11. I wouldn't take Halliburton at 11 in a points league. I've got him projected 17th. Wouldn't do it. Trae Young goes at 12, and that's fine. Like, to me, the guys like LeBron projects well. Jalen Brunson projects really well. You got to be really cautious that you're understanding the differences between formats. Don Mitchell goes there. I've got him projected 30th. Wouldn't be touching him there. And I know that he was awesome last season, but it does not take much to drop down in points league rankings, and that's really going to depend on how you view the way Kenny Atkinson's going to approach that rotation. And if he plays 37, 36, 35 minutes a night, then sure. But I don't know that he does. I also don't like Curry there. Curry last season was 32nd in Yahoo points leagues. So taking him at 14 does not work for me. And I think that guy, Alden, has taken Halliburton and Curry. He said that he's never played Yahoo points league before, so he's very much just misjudged what he's doing. But you will have people in your leagues that are like that. And you can say, well, he screwed it. This will happen in every one of your leagues, right? That there is somebody who just has either a wrong idea or doesn't read the settings or has just a completely wildly different point of view to you. And that is cool. I think it's good to have that sort of thing happen in a draft. After Curry goes Scott Barnes, Jim Harden, Ja Morant. Ja Morant ahead of Anthony Edwards is not something I expected, but I actually get it. LeBron James there to Benny Bob. Pairing with Anthony Davis is interesting. Interesting. Okay. That's LeBron at that spot is great. I'll tell you who I want, Şengün or Brunson. I cannot believe that Brunson has lasted this long. Gonza, are you going to do it? I will snap Brunson up with my pick. Oh, there he goes. Brunson at 20. As much as I do think that Brunson will not be exactly the same as he was end of last season, their depth is so thin. And Towns replaces Randall too, but DiVincenzo, their depth is non-existent. So, yeah, I love Brunson to the start of second round-ish in a points league. Şengün is going to be my guy here. Zion also, like LaMelo Ball, Zion looks ridiculous in the preseason. He looks so good. Will I do it there? I don't know. After Brunson goes Durant, I would not take Durant, I don't think, there. I'd like to do it more in round 3. But, we're getting more to reasonable areas. This Go Bulls. Oh, he took Şengün. All right, so there we go. So I'm already annoyed. I'm not going to take Zion because I'm going to try and flip him back the other way. I might just snag... Okay, so on the top of my projections is Zion. And then it's Cade. I might just take... Cade does not look great in preseason, but it is preseason. I'm going to take Cade. And then I'm going to try either Zion or... Zion won't get back to me, I know that. But this should be where Zion starts to go. We're in Tyrese Maxey territory. We're in Towns and Booker territory. So after I took Cade, it goes De'Aaron Fox. And then Devin Booker. So I am just going to do it. I'm going to take Zion here. And let's go. Again, Zion will fall. His ADP is like in the 50s on Yahoo, I think. So he might be there, but he shouldn't be. He's a top 20 per game player. I think very, very comfortably. And, sometimes you let guys fall and you think you're going to get them back around the other way and you don't necessarily do it. But you might. So his ADP is 49. Now, if I'm in a draft where people don't know what they're doing, I very easily could have got Zion in round 4. Could have at 11th pick. But, and if I do, that's almost a cheat code to winning. Sort of. I am very surprised that Karl Anthony Towns is still available. He should have gone ahead of a lot of these guys. Ahead of Irving. Ahead of Lillard. Lillard last season, 29th per game. A little surprised that Maxey has not gone. I saw Paolo go there after Zion, which is fine. Chet also falling to the correct spot in a points league. This is totally okay. Let's see what Benny Bob does after going Davis and James in the first 2 picks. He feels like he's going to do a Maxey. No, he goes Bam Adebayo, who also is not a super, super strong points league guy. He's fine. But there are plenty of other guys that would have taken. Why is Towns still there? Somebody is going to get, I think, pretty good value here at 31. Is it Viken? Manjikian? Yeah, there he goes. Townsy at 31 for Viken. Really, really like that as Obi barges into the room. I think we're in real Jalen Johnson territory here as well. DeJounte Murray and Evan Mobley. Mobley and Jalen both look really good in preseason so far. Again, it is preseason. But looking good is better than looking bad. There goes Jalen Johnson at 32. Let's go Jimbo. I like that pick from you, my guy. Drifter Spence took the early plunge on LaMelo. He got Jim Harden at a pretty good spot as well. Can he triple it up? I mean, he's going to triple it up because he's going to take somebody. He takes Pascal Siakam. Okay. Yeah, probably okay. Yeah, it's probably okay. I really... Look, the guys that they're not going to get here to me, but like Mobley, DeJounte, Maxey, George, Bronco, those guys really should be starting to move off this board soon. And I'm going to put myself in an interesting spot that do I take Kawhi if he lasts to me? Not sure that I do. DeJounte gets to 34. I'm hopeful that one of these guys just takes Kawhi here. Eldon Maisie, who went Halliburton and Curry, goes with Paul George. The Paul George pick is totally reasonable there. I like that one. I'm a little surprised that the Tyrese hasn't gone, honestly. I thought people were going to be way higher on Tyrese than this. He was 24th last season. Chet goes at 36, which he goes at the top of the second in category leagues. Big difference. Reasonable difference, the correct difference. And then Fred VanVleet goes also the correct spot for Fred VanVleet, or correct-ish spot for Fred VanVleet. Knowing your format is very different. Also, yeah, like someone mentioned in the chat here, Drifter Spence, we've got the 2 centers, so you've got to remember the 2 centers. Terrible setup. I've got one. Is Zion center eligible? He is on Fantrax anyway. Evan Mobley goes at 38. That is, I think, pretty good value. I'm really interested in Mobley this season. But also remember that the differences in these players, like we're talking such small amounts. 2 fantasy points between the next 20 players maybe. It's so small, man. And that don't overthink it. Don't get crazy with it. Well, Machiavelli gets auto-picked on Kawhi, which is fine. Per game, it's fine. There's obviously risk with it, but it's okay there. The Bronco, Jalen Williams goes next, and we are in that territory. I think we should be looking at DeRozan's and... look, this is sort of Markkanen's per game range, so meaning I'd want to push him around further back, given the risks. We're talking DeRozan, we're talking Quickly, who's also got a risk probably not as large as Markkanen's, but pretty close. And then we're talking Randall's and Jaylen Brown's. Jaylen Brown's a really strong pick here. Julius Randle goes at 41, which I do like. I am really, really shocked that Tyrese Maxey's there. This, as much as I might be somewhat down on, I have had discussions / arguments / disagreements with people on Maxey where someone told me, no, Maxey's actually going to be the 1A, 1B with Embiid, and I'm like, okay, can we just settle down? Like, they are not having the same usage. I'm just sorry to say that is not happening, right? It's way more likely that Maxey's third than he is first or ahead of Embiid. That is just not realistic, I don't think. But Maxey falling this far is crazy. Taking Markkanen there is reasonable if you think he's going to be playing in the playoffs, and I don't, so I wouldn't. It's a round early at least, I think, for Lowry at that spot. Because remember, he's not as good in a points league as he is in a category league. Jaylen Brown, that's really nice to get that guy there. And we're talking Quickly and DeRozan, where there's risk. Full season of Quickly on a new team that might be bad. DeRozan on a new team, we don't know how it works. Jaren Jackson, hamstring legend. Think you'll be okay opening night. Not really impacting my decision-making too much. Totally reasonable to pick him here as well. We are moving into Cam Thomas territory. Oh, it's my pick. I better actually make one. So do I just take... Do I take quickly? Do I take DeRozan? At the top of my list, do I take Bane? You know what? I don't really take Desmond Bane in many of these drafts. 6 seconds left. I'm just going to take him. Bang. Oh, just snuck that in. Because I'm just highlighting that I have a level of uncertainty. The top 3 guys on my list are quickly. Uncertainty about Toronto and tanking and how it all fits in. DeRozan, new team. And the third one on my list is Cam Thomas. Who? And the fourth one is Ayton. All on nearly all those on terrible teams. We don't know their statuses. Thomas is going to get shots, but does he get sat down at all? Is Ayton going to get taken over by Klingon or traded? There's a lot of doubt there. And then the next guy is Jamal Murray, and then injured RJ Barrett, and then Kyle Kuzma. It's all risky, man. It's all risky. But we're getting to a stage where now I am going to make that call, and I think... Let's have a look at my squad. I think I'm just going to take... Where is quickly? Oh, I had my search filter on. I will just take Quick there. One guy that I would love to be getting in this format is Rowan Barrett, but the shoulder injury is a little worrying. I do think there is a risk of him missing the beginning of the season now. Franz Wagner goes, so I took Quickly at 50, Wagner at 51. Is that, I'm just going to look, is that good for Franz Wagner? Yes, it is fine. It is fine. I think it's all right. We're looking at Ayton, Thomas. We'll chuck these guys into my queue. Giddey. Again, it is preseason, but I wouldn't say I've been encouraged by Brandon Miller's preseason. I won't say I'm discouraged, but I wouldn't say, oh my God, absolutely cooking. Tell you who's cooking. Tijan Salan. Where's going on with him? Now, I don't think he hasn't got a starting role anywhere, but the big fella's on fire. He is cooking, and I love that. Khalil Ware also cooking for Miami, and the fact that Bam is just taking way more threes makes me think that they will play together at some point, which is very, very good for Ware's upside and value. Claxon goes after Wagner. That is good for him. Gobert in this spot is good, and Vooch in this spot is also pretty good. All those guys making strong picks, I think, in this zone of the draft. This is definitely Ayton territory, Thomas territory, Barrett territory, Kuzma territory, but all of those guys have got the stink of a bad team on them. Garland at 55 is fine. It's pretty good, actually. We're getting into thick Hogsman zone. Tobias Harris. Oh, and there goes Josh Giddey. Let's go Jimbo. Good pick from you. I'm just going to slot Zion into my other center spot. I actually don't know whether Zion has center on Yahoo, but I think he's going to get it. So even if you don't have it initially, he will get it because he will play some center. He won't start there, but he'll play some center. Drifter Spence takes Cam Thomas at 57. Very, very reasonable. Very reasonable to get him there. But again, that is in this, and this is a very interesting period of a draft where there are so many question marks of fit/bad teams. Miles Turner. Yep, actually totally good there. I think I probably would have gone with maybe a Jarrett Allen over him, but it's fine. And there are other players who I think score more, but with risks involved. Brad Beal is probably marginally early. Nothing outrageous, though. And then Jalen Duren at 60 is... Let me have a look. Yeah, that's actually pretty significantly early, I think. Well, not that it's early as such. It's just that there are other guys around who I would rather have. I am a little shocked that DeAndre Ayton is still there. We are talking pick 61 now, and he is still there. And he was 56th last season. That's a little surprising. Kyle Kuzma goes at 61, which is absolutely bang on. We are talking Zach LaVine zone here. I guess people are... Oh, there goes Jordan Poole. A little worried about Barrett's shoulder because he is very clearly in this area. Jordan Poole in that spot is good. We're talking Brandon Miller now, Miles Bridges, Jarrett Allen. I had someone ask me a question the other day. They go, hey, Josh, would you draft Miles Bridges? I said, what do you mean? And they're like, oh, because of the allegations. And I was like, okay, there's no allegations. He's had his court date and he pled no contest, got his punishment. He has the other one dismissed, and whatever you think of that is fine. But he's like, oh, but would you do it based on the things he's done? I can't answer that for you. I can't tell you what moral decision to make. That is up to you. You can pick him. Totally cool. You can also not pick him because you don't want to cheer for him. Also, totally cool. But I'm not telling you what to do. Not my business how you want to approach that. So after Jordan Poole goes Rowan Barrett, Derek White, sorry, then Rowan Barrett, then Miles Bridges. So all those guys that I just mentioned, and Jarrett Allen. So people would really just, like, if I had a queue, I would have put those guys in the queue, and I would have been annoyed. But Ayton, I was debating Ayton at that spot where I took Bain. I debated Ayton. And just sitting around, man. Zach Levine goes at 67. Element of risk with him, absolutely. Not even so much injury, it's just like, where is he? What does he do? Who does he play for? Does he keep playing? I don't know what they do. Well, there goes Ayton. Gonza just absolutely, that's thievery, I think, at that spot. Like, that eliminates a ton of that risk as well. Two of the highest guys here for me are Toby Harris and John Kuminga. Kuminga, I do not know what the Warriors are going to do. And I worry. What if he plays 28 minutes a night off the bench? It's a worry. I wouldn't take Ingram there. And he just did, and I wouldn't do it. You know what? I'm not that far off Ingram there. I think I might hog it up here. I think we might thicket with Toby. Let's take Toby Harris in that position, which is 71. Tobias Harris was 66th per game last season. I'm so absolutely red hot excited about that. I'm not, and I'm also, as much as I'm not loving what I'm seeing from Brandon Miller, and I don't love him particularly as a prospect, and everyone is well aware of my thoughts on him. If I get him back around at 74, he's good. Simons would be another guy there, and Kuminga too. But again, what are they going to do? There are too many players. How the hell do those minutes get chucked around? Well, I don't have to think about Miller now because Simons is gone, Miller is gone. Is this Sexo for me? No, you know what it is for me? It's Mikal Bridges. I have a level of security in Bridges' floor at that spot. Like Kuminga, sure, like it, it's fine. Sexton, the Jazz. D'Angelo Russell would have been an option. Valanciunas, Hero, Zubats. We're getting to that zone. Kobe White also, well, there he goes. Kobe White went there at 75, so he was an interesting option for me, but Go Bulls takes him because, Bulls. So I think most of these picks are sort of, and this is where the idea of, and I'm not going to do points league mock drafts from every position. I'll do them from different zones of the draft, but as a general rule, in a points league, points league players, this is not a diss, this is not a negative, this is a reality. Building is not a thing. There is no different paths of doing it. So the order of players that go in this draft could easily be the order of players that go in any draft at all. If I picked at 2, at 5, at 9, it could be the same and it wouldn't matter at all. Because you don't have to pair and build and all that sort of stuff. And people make differing decisions to other people. But that idea of what do I do when I've got this guy? What's my next pick? Your next pick is who you think is better. That's how we approach it. So this gives you an idea of me talking through it as well, of who I think is better, who I think shouldn't be there necessarily. After Kobe White went Hero, and then Nurkic, and then Vassell, which I really know that he's doing some work, but I'm not even sure he's that good on a per-game basis for points leagues. And he's going to miss the start of the season, and there's always a risk of setbacks, and there's a risk of limited minutes, and there's a risk of back-to-backs. To me, Benny Bob, I apologize for you. I hate that pick there. I would not touch it. Hartenstein and Valanciunas. Oh, sorry, it goes Vassell, Anunoby, which is, I think it's a little early probably. Keegan Murray does not feel like it's probably the right spot there, to be honest. That doesn't, yeah. Keegan Murray there does not make sense to me. Look, I'm trying to find where I've got Keegan on my list. We're a long way down, man. Where is Keegan? I can't even find him. Yeah, I got him at 103. That's too early. Valanciunas, Hartenstein, Russell, those ones, all really good. Mark Williams and Colin Sexton is a very good combo from you at the end there. 2IC Landgren. And then Zubac. So I like those picks. No one has No one has decided they're going to use the bucket here. So I always seem I find... Maybe, I think I might be too high on Kuminga, and that's weird because I don't like Kuminga as a player. I think he lacks awareness a lot at times, and I'm not a huge fan of his style. Yes, he does big jumps, but I'm not a massive fan of his style. Brook Lopez gets auto-picked. That's horrendous, that pick. I know it was an auto-pick, but geez, man, you cannot... Like that, you can't do that there. It's a really, really bad pick. Scooter Henderson goes at 88. Are we too high on that? Actually, no. I don't think so. With Sharp out, I like that quite a bit. Drew Holiday here feels early. Feels a bit early to me. I'm going to... Look, this has happened a bit. Like, I was considering Kuminga where I took Toby Harris. And he still might be back to me. The Poop Cookie goes at number 90. Michael Porter. That is not... I'm not there for that. I don't love that. Benny Bob, let's see. I didn't like your Vassell pick, much like I didn't like Jimbo. I didn't like your Murray Holiday combo either. He does take Kuminga. So Benny Bob, you go ahead and totally redeem yourself. Jakob Poeltl goes to Gonza. That's good. Austin Reeves is going to be my target, or Christian James and McCullum. Let's just throw CJ in there. Hey, the other guy I'm worried about, and I said this yesterday, I think, is Jabari Smith. Whitmore, Eason, Amen. Amen looks awesome, by the way. There goes CJ. I'm worried that Jabari is going to sit Patrick Williams style and be like, eh. Also, Matas Bazalas already looks better than Patrick Williams. I think he takes that starting spot. So you can't just take Austin Reeves in front of me, Go Bulls. Those two guys I had in my queue 2 picks before. And before you say it, no, this is not live. No, they did not see my queue. No, they did not hear me say it. Because I know that somebody was going to say that. I'm going to take Halloween legend Terry Rozier. What position do I need to fill? Forward, apparently. I actually do need to fill my forward spot. Hey, didn't I just click that? What's going on? Hey, why did that go so slow? Anyway, I got Rozier now. 4 centers in a row. Who took 4 centers in a row? Anyway, whatever. Oh, this guy. Gonza. Oh, it's him. He's commenting on himself. Gobert, 8, and Nurkic. But well, it's a 2-center league. You need them. I've only got 2-center eligible players. I need another one. So goes Rozier. Chris Middleton feels early. So what am I going to do? I really do want Amen Thompson. Do I take Alex Sarr? Jabari Smith goes 97. Do I take Alex Sarr? You know what? You probably don't need to do it considering how far down the list he is on Yahoo. He's at 163 with an ADP of 138. But I am illustrating to you, I think he's around this spot. Not going inside the top 100, but I just want to take him there. Who could I have taken there as well? And I want to center. Pajemski. Amen Thompson would have been the absolute lock-in pick at that spot, I think. Amen looks unbelievable. I am absolutely not into Denny Avdia at that position. I don't get it. I don't understand Denny. Oh, actually, you know what? That's maybe unfair. Denny was pretty good in points leagues last season. Jesus, that's early on Westbrook. But it's okay. I think Westbrook's going to have a pretty outsized role that is too much. Will Michael Malone realize it in time? I'm not sure. Let's throw Bogdanovic into the queue. I will put a man into the queue. There's no chance that he gets back to me, by the way. Aaron Gordon, solid pick for points leagues there, Gonza. I think that's pretty good from you. I'm going to throw Keontae in as well. Because Scoot going like at least a round ahead of Keontae feels like too much. So I've got my 3 centers. Oh, hang on. Sarr doesn't even have center eligibility. Josh, what have you done? Imagine being that dumb. I just assumed they would have center eligibility. Well, you know what? That's a life lesson, isn't it? Don't assume stuff on these leagues. Look at it. Figure it out. Didn't. I just thought that I knew more than what this was and thought that it would make sense that the man who's going to play power forward and center would have center eligibility, but I guess not. Walker Kessler at 103. Amen went at 102, which annoys me. Porzingis at 104. Actually really, really good to get him there. Also, remember, he's not as good in points as categories. 2 of the guys really hanging around are Pajemski and Trigger Trey Murphy. Draymond Green at 105. Like it. Wiggins, much like Kuminga, is like iffy. Like maybe. What do they do? Naz Reid can start to get it soon as well. Jeremy Sohan also, I think, should be in that mix. What is Machiavelli? Is he the... Oh, yeah, he auto-drafted Brook. He dropped out. Appreciate you being a prick and doing that. That's awesome. Apologies if there was an emergency that happened. But, prick behavior. Love that from you. Machiavelli, you are auto-drafting. Thanks for that. Well, he took Trey Murphy, so that also annoys me. Alden Maisie, are you still here? There's people who go, man, it's so good. I've been wanting to get into a mock draft, and they drop out halfway through. Just like Marie Antoinette. He took John Collins, so he's here, the big fella. Well done. All right. 2IC Landgren. What are you here? Because you're showing up white. I know you're green, you're back, you're Bogdaning. All right, we are 9 rounds in. Bogdan is off. So Josh Hart, I think, has got to start to be discussed here. There's just no depth. He can play 37 a night. He's not... Oh, Jeremy Grant. I like the points per game value of Jeremy there. I hate the fact that it's Jeremy Grant. What's whoops? Clay Thompson at 111. That was it. That was his auto pick, I think. No, it wasn't. It was Eldon Maisie. Why would we take Clay there? Oh, no. Dan Gafford at 111. That's an auto. Jalen Suggs at 112. By the way, I've had this question already. I think multiple people have asked me, hey, with Dante Exum out for 3 months, do we draft Spencer Dinwiddie? No, you weren't drafting Exum. You're definitely not drafting Dinwiddie. No way. But what it does mean is for deeper leagues, that Jaden Hardy probably has to play, or were they treating Exum as a 3 where Omax Prosper has to get in there? Prosper, sorry. So after Gafford goes Suggs, Jackson Davis, interesting pick. Tyus Jones, solid pick. Jaden Ivey, who is playing very well at the moment. It is preseason, but they are empowering him, which is awesome to see. And I am a little worried about what on earth is going on with Asar Thompson, by the way. I know what's going on. I'm just worried about when it's going to be sorted. I don't know that I've got Ivy in any drafts. We're also still in this spot where Keontae George is there, Pajemski is there, Wiggins is still here. Who knows what they do with Wiggins in the minutes, but it's very, very, that whole team remains very confusing. So Josh Hart did go. Good pick from you, Gonzo. I like that a lot. Dinamu. Let's see. I don't really know what I'm going to do. Oh, Noah Clowney. That is... I don't like that yesterday those guys were out and they started Finney Smith at centre and not Clowney. Hate that from you, Geordie. Hopefully it's only a nonsense preseason buffoonery. I do like Clowney. I do like Hendricks a lot. Is it Josh's pick? Yeah, Naz Reid just went. So I'm going to take the speaker, Keontae George, and I probably do want to make sure I get one of those centers, yeah? I've only got 2 eligible guys because Sarah is not. But there is really not much around. Do I take a Kongwu? I probably will. Probably will, but let's put a Kongwu in the queue. I agree it is probably early for Clowney. I think that's almost chasing... Oh, fucking... Kongwu just goes... That is chasing that hype a little bit. Taylor Hendricks is available and in play, and I won't take him because I just want to get a center here. So it's Capella or Lively. I'll take Derek. One should be going up, one might be going down. It's an extra center eligible player. Sohan and Pajemski. Did Pajemski go? Did I miss that? Where did B-Pards? AirPods, actually. Still available. That's interesting. Thought he would have gone by now. Put Sohan into the queue. Hendricks, who it does appear will start. So after Lively goes Marcus Smart. Andy Wiggins should be in this zone as well. Now we're getting to what do we do territory. I've got time to wait on it, of course. Clint Capella. Yeah, that's fine. I like that pick. That's okay. Again, you got to get your centers. If it is a stupid setting that shouldn't exist, but Yahoo refuses to change anything, because it is, of course, still 1994 in their hearts. So they're running with a two-center league. Dennis Schroeder, it looks like Schroeder will start for the Nets alongside Ben Simmons and Cam Thomas, which is, it's a decision that they've made, of course. It's, is it a good one? I guess that's going to be a question that you have to ask at some point. I'm not sure that it is. But they're doing it. After Schroeder goes Chris Paul and Paul Washington Jr. at 127. I think we like those ones. Now, let's go Jimbo's. Made some cracking picks across the journey here. Is he still alive? I don't think he auto-drafted last time. The only one who's auto-drafted that's in my bad books is Machiavelli, which is just like some of the shittest form. Oh, let's go. Jimbo did auto-pick this one. Did he auto-pick the last one? Let's go back and find out. Oh, no, he drafted it. So is he just booted as well? Now he's back. So Pajemski goes to Drifter Spence. Caruso next. This is what happens when you auto-draft. You get bad picks. Eldon Maisie up there. This guy says, I'm looking forward to Josh saying how bad a good a job I did to hold nothing back. Bit late for me to hold back on it, mate. Like, you've already gone through it. I think you did really well, Viken, in getting Towns. I wouldn't have taken Embiid there. Most of your other stuff's pretty good. Maybe Porter too early. Dyson Daniels. Yeah. Oh, and Hendricks goes. Daniels started. I think he will start. Ricochet also looked good. Ricochet has to go in drafts. He's a absolute must draft. And by must draft, I mean must be drafted. Not by you, but by somebody. It might be you, but he must be drafted. Hendricks must be drafted. Clowney must be drafted. So it's must draft, but they just have to be drafted. You have to draft them. Alex R, must draft. Jeremy Sohan, I also think is a must draft. But he just went there, and my man, 2IC Landgren, got two of the guys that I wanted in Hendricks and Sohan, and that annoys me. That annoys me. I'm very, very happy with my squad, though. I really do like the way, even though I've missed a couple of picks and sniped on a couple, Ben Simmons goes at 134. Fine. DiVincenzo at 135. I don't think that's one that we need to go for, but of course that is my now newly minted arch nemesis Machiavelli, who will be banned from further drafts. Kevin Porter goes at 136, which I just don't know what they're going to do. Norman Powell is Norman Powell. Like, he gets points and then literally nothing else, whereas Porter might be bad efficiency-wise, but he can do a lot of other stuff. And as much as I don't think that Kevin Porter is necessarily a good player, he might be better than Norm Powell at this point. Andy Nembhard's an interesting one. Zach Edey is... I think Edey's minutes are going to be pushed down quite a bit, actually. I don't think he's... Yeah, I think he'll start, but I'm not really sure what he's bringing us. So look at what have I done in my bench so far? I've taken Lively. We're only doing 13 rounds here because, again, Yahoo, welcome to 1995. Why wouldn't you give the team that picks first another advantage by allowing them to pick first in 7 rounds versus 6? Like, it just makes sense, doesn't it? Grady Dick goes next, the prestige one at 139, which is, like, all right if there weren't other better options around. Norman Powell, like, I cannot get hard for that. Like, that is just not interesting to me. It's fine. It just is boring as shit, man. The thing we do consider here is, like, do we take somebody with our last pick? And I said this again the other day. Do you take someone with your last pick as a preemptive waiver move? A Knicks player, a Celtics player, a Wolves player, or a Lakers player to stream him on opening night? So, does Rui Hachimura work? Asar Thompson just goes next. We'll make my pick in a sec, but, is it worth doing? Probably. And one of those is the Knicks, so is Precious Achiuwa a guy? I mean, he's a guy, but is he worth picking? All right, like, I really don't. Like, why is Andrew Wiggins still here? Let's just do this. All right, I'll just take Wiggins there. It doesn't... Seems like... And I'll do Ricochet on the way back. Oh, no. So I was going to take someone as my... I forgot running on 13 rounds. Idiot, Josh. Forgot again. I'll take Ricochet on the way back around. Probably should have just taken Zach there. But that's okay. You heard me talk about it, I'm hoping. I get the feeling that old mate Matt Kong is going to zack it up here. He takes Karis LeVert, which is fine. In a category league, I probably wouldn't do it. In a points league, it is reasonable. So his last 2 picks, Monk and LeVert, are really solid. Not sure there's any upside, but they're solid and strong. Let's see if he takes Ricochet just to put the last nail right into my side to really really pierce the exterior of me being calm. Will he do it? Khalil Ware. This guy goes, I glaze Wiggins every draft. You could not be more wrong. The idea, this is where people get this wrong idea about me. Do I think Wiggins is a very good player? Not really. Do I think that he was worth that all-star bid? Absolutely 100% not. Do I think that Wiggins is falling too far in drafts? Yes. It's okay. Is that glazing? Or is it just me telling you that my opinion on him is something different to whatever you other noobs think? Noobs, what a stupid word. Jordan Clarkson, Bilal Coulibaly. Bilal's going to start. Oubre, yeah. As Benny Bob says, yeah, that's his second last pick. He's totally glazing. Absolutely, yeah. Rob Dillingham, absolutely zero interest in Rob Dillingham. I talked about that with Robin Marks on his show. When he came on my show, I said, look, I like Rob a lot. I can't see how this works out. How 8th man at best. That in a 12-man league, I don't think that plays. So, whatever. But you know what? It is your last pick. Whatever. Do what you want. And the Wolves play opening night, so there is value in that. Yeah, Obi, I know. It's all Rob Dillingham. Gaz Trent. Let's go Jimbo. Gets Andre Drummond. Did he take Embiid? No, he didn't. But it's all right. Question for you guys. If you are in Locked On Fantasy Basketball Bowl, has your draft finished? My category league in the blue has finished. My points league 1 has not finished, but I have made all 16 of my picks. So a lot of them are done. Look at these picks. Drummond, Horford, Conley, Carter. I've never seen a run, Trent, of lower upside picks in the final round. They are just unbelievably low value upside picks. That's the way you want to go. And then old mate TRC Landgren takes Steph Castle, who I don't think it's going to work for him this season. But whatever. I took my flyers on Ricochet. Lively's a little bit of a flyer. And then I went Sarr at round 9, which I'm looking back on it is probably too high. But there you go. So my team. Tell me, actually, which team do you think is best in this group? Tell me that. My team is Jokic, Cunningham, Zion Williamson, Big Des Bane, Emmanuel Quickly, the Thick Hogsman, Tobias Harris, Mikal Bridges, Terry Rozier, Alexander Sarr, Keontae George, Derek Lively, Andy Wiggins, and Zash Ricochet. So, that is my team. The projected standings, they have me on top very clearly, but that is because I picked number 2 and because they are my projections. Followed by Gonza, Matty Kong, Go Bulls, Drifter Spence, Let's Go Jimbo, 2IC Landgren, Benny Bob, Dinamu, Viken. Who's this guy? I Love Miles Bridges, which is just one of the wankiest names I have ever heard. And putting that, you can draft Miles Bridges, but putting that as your thing is just says something. And the last pick is Machiavelli, the dickhead who dropped out. So that is our team. We are done. What do you think? Tell me how you think we went with this. Who are the best team? Do you like my team? Josh is terrible at drafting. Someone's going to say that as well. So drop that down below. Let's get it out of the way. Now, I suck. I'm actually the worst. I'm one of the worst. Actually, you probably never played against a worse fantasy player than me. I'm actually terrible. So, all of my picks are the worst, and they could have been way better. And you definitely would have done it 100% better without any question. So, we got that out of the way. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and we're done here. There's another show coming. Thank you so much for listening, everyone. See ya.